let's start with you, Gussie.
Yeah.
The third Gotcha4Life Cup.
Yeah.
You're a big Rooster, but this battle, it's a huge game for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge game for Gotcha4Life. The Gotcha4Life Cup, like you said, third year in the area that I live, and quite a few of the ambassadors, DCE, the Travojeviches, do a lot of work with us with Gotcha4Life. But of course, it's all about the 2 points tomorrow night. But if we can just put a little bit of focus on mental fitness and the emotional muscle that is so much more powerful than all the other muscles that come so naturally to these players, and we can let supporters know and people that love rugby league know that, you know, it's a gold standard of mental fitness is rugby league, and it's all about building up that muscle, and that sometimes takes a bit of hard work. It's something we haven't practiced from a young age, so it comes a little bit harder for people. But to be able to find someone in your life that you can talk to, warts and all, without any fear of judgment, having enough guts to put your hand up and not worry alone about something, I think is the most important conversation we should have, boys, girls, men, women, everyone out there, because we lose too many people to suicide. We lose 7 blokes a day every day, 2 women every day, so that's 9 Aussies that woke up this morning won't wake up tomorrow morning, and we've got 65,000 attempts a year, which is one every few minutes. I don't want to live in an Australia like that, so Gotcha4Life was built to try to help get that number down to 0, and that's what this cup match is so important to me, not just a game of footy, but it just puts a spotlight on something that's so important for all of us.
How crucial is it to have the support of the Roosters family, as you said, players like DCE, James Tedesco, Travojeviches?
Yeah, to have main players like that come to schools with me and stand up in front of kids and say it's all right to be emotional, it's all right to be vulnerable, is incredible. Because you just see kids' faces go, oh, it's okay not to have all the answers because Teddy told me that that's the way, or DCE tells me that way. It's quite incredible. And to have Unibet give us the piece of their jersey. Manly don't have to give a piece of the jersey, but they put the Gotcha4Life logo on there. Shaw & Partners give $100,000, Unibet give $100,000. We then auction off the jerseys. I mean, it could be a $250,000 night for Gotcha4Life tomorrow night. Like, that's extraordinary money for us for what we can do with it. So, yeah, we are blessed to have the support of the clubs. And Robbo's always been available every time I've ever asked him for anything. And that's very much the same with the coach on the other side as well, with Sieb. So, yeah, we're blessed.
Just on Sieb, he spoke this morning about some of his struggles being in the spotlight, especially when he was in Brisbane.
Yeah.
To see someone like Sieb be vulnerable in front of cameras, what does that mean to you that he's happy to speak about his own journey?
Yeah, I love the fact that people in positions of power or authority are standing up and saying to be a leader, it's okay to be human. You can puff your chest out as much as you like, and of course there's moments for that, but there's lots of moments too where you can just be a human being and you can go through life's ups and downs. And I've been able to help Siebes with some of that stuff and some of the people that he loves in his life. And I love the fact that he calls on me if he needs me, which is awesome. And I'm really proud of him for being vulnerable this morning.
Robbo, what does it mean having Gotcha4Life on board, given that so many of your boys have been so vocal about their own struggles?
Yeah, it normalises it. That's what it does. It says that, you know, you can play the toughest team sport in the world, and you can say also I need help at different times, and I can help someone. It hasn't been normalised for up until probably in the last decade, and Gotcha4Life is one of the reasons why it says it's okay to continue and be confident and be funny and be joyful in your life, but also say, hey, I need some help sometimes. And sometimes one of the big things that Gussie does is reach out. Make sure that you're reaching out. Make sure that you're saying, hey, are you okay? And do you need some help? And that normalising of the conversation hopefully reduces that from 9 to 7 to 6 to getting down to 0 at some point.
When that interest, Trent, obviously, like, such a big club, highly scrutinised, whatever the Roosters do, how do you make sure your mental fitness is ready to go each day? Because you've got to come in here and be this group.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one for me. You have to prepare yourself. You have to have your tools to make sure that you're ready each day. And there's some things, and most of the days it works, and it works well, and then sometimes it doesn't. And then you've got to make sure that you've got your support around you to say, hey, I'm having a bad day today, or what do you think I should do in this situation? And so yeah, there's enough resources out there now to work out how do you get yourself prepared every day. And so that's what I do. But then I have to have my crew as well, and I have to be a crew for someone else.
Have you found that since Gotcha4Life or the Gotcha4Life Cup has come into the game, your players have adapted more to reaching out or more to, I guess, normalising mental health, and that it can get tough sometimes?
I came in 2013 and we didn't see it as an issue, but it was a huge hidden issue. No one talked about it. It wasn't okay to mention that you had an issue because it was seen as a weakness, therefore you wouldn't play well. For me, 12 years later, that's a complete shift. It's players that are performing higher than ever before, and on certain times during their life or certain periods, they need to say, hey, I need a bit of help here to get back on track. They need a handrail to support, and that can be people, that can be foundations, that can be mental health workers there to say, hey, I need your assistance here. And the club's moved to having all of that in place, and performance still seems to increase. So what is that saying? If you look after your mental well-being and your mental fitness, then you'll get greater performance.
Gussie, just the overarching message is always to have that mate that has got you for life.
Yeah.
It can be one, it can be five.
Yeah.
But what's your message to anyone watching this now that may never have opened up to someone who's really struggling?
It's really difficult to do it, so I understand how hard it is to reach out and say I need some help, but you will not get better unless you ask for help. So just big deep breath and just go and ask. Whether you can talk to one of your mates or a professional, they're there. There's so many wonderful people out there wanting to help you. So just start the conversation. I get asked all the time, I don't know how to start. Well, it's the first step. You know, if you want to get physically fit, it's just going to that telegraph pole. Then 2 days later you go to the telegraph pole at the end of the road. Doesn't matter how slowly you go, you've just got to start the journey. And like Robbo said, there's so many wonderful people out there, including Gotcha4Life, but many others that we love as well, that we always support, who are there for you. Everyone wants to get the suicide rate down to zero. It's the number one way to die if you're a young Australian male, your age. Your age now is the number one way to suicide. I don't want to live in Australia like that. So the help is there. Please be brave enough and to be fit enough to go, I need your help, because there's people there to help you.
Just on the exercise front, we've got a big halftime entertainer that you'll be featuring in tomorrow.
What are you doing?
Mate.
There is a celebrity, and Gus, you'll be front and centre.
Well-
Headgear, mouth guard.
Well, Hammy's no good, Carv's no good. We've got like a 12-minute game at halftime when hopefully you'll be focusing on a nice lead and how we're going to consolidate. But yeah, we've got a whole heap of lifeguards from Bondi Rescue, a whole lot of celebrities. Lane Beachley's captaining one team, Fletcher's captaining my team. Yeah. And we've got a game of touch footy on the halfway. So we're just trying to add more things to it every year, being year 3. So I'm hanging on the wing and I'm hoping for a little bit of, maybe in the corner to win it. That'd be nice.
Daniel too, though, aerial efforts maybe.
Well, I'm not sure if we can kick, but I'm definitely on for that if someone's got the skills to get it there. We've got
He'll dive for the corner. He'll do a Brett Morris dive in the corner. Remember against, was it?
I remember. It was great. And Luke Phillips is playing.
Right, okay.
So we used to play touch footy together. So I said we had the old move. Well, whatever he did on a Friday night, whatever he had on a Friday night for the Roosters, I'd say, I know that move. I'll hang on the wing. And we used to score. So that's our plan.
Here we go. Opposition will be looking over old tapes. Luke Phillips.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fun.
You mentioned mental performance. One of your recruits this year, Spencer Linyu's come in and probably had one of his better years in first grade. You're starting him this week, and I guess it's been seen as the kind of progression of Jabarria Hargreaves. What are you expecting from him?
Yeah, Spencer came as a 3-time premiership winner, really good player, and our progression for him was to build him into a starting player. He was seen as a sort of a 25-minute player. We've started to push out those minutes, and we see it as a natural progression for him with Lindsay. Jared being out, that he's starting, and he will continue to do that over the next few years.
Was there a push to do it last week, or did you want to make sure he kind of eased back in after Origin?
Yeah, it's a tough one there with the guys playing Origin, Lindsay and Spencer. We had guys that had started before that we wanted to get out there and start, and I felt like they had a really good impact when they came off the bench. And we want to improve that this week.
You mentioned guys coming back. Robert Toyer made his return in New South Wales Cup, and he's playing up in his second game this week. How are you finding his progression? I know he was predicted to kind of make his way into the first grade team towards the end of this year by a lot of people. Are you seeing that still on track, or maybe because of the injury it pushes back a little bit?
obviously he's had those injuries over the last couple of years. He is, we've put a lot of time and effort in. We believe he is a top-end centre. And we've just got to give him that space to get back on the field, play. But even conversations this week, he just wanted to get back out there and play after so long out. And then the next progression is just to start pushing moments in the game and showing his quality. He's doing it against us week in, week out, the second team versus the first team. And the way that he's such a explosive centre, he's hard to handle. But we just want to give him time to progress over the next few weeks at the back end of the season, and look forward to a really good pre-season with him leading into next year.
I guess coming out of last week, Sam Walker has been in the spotlight a little bit. How are you finding his performances so far this week or this year? And do you find that, I guess, a lot of the talk around his contract situation is a bit unwarranted because he's at probably the top of his form as well? Yeah, I don't know what the talk's been around contract-wise. That's separate to what we're trying to do each week. I love the progression that he's on. Some of the things that we're discussing through the week are coming into the game, and some are yet to come into the game. But his clarity on how he wants to play and how we want to play is right there. And our belief in that getting in over the next couple of months is also there. I feel like his form's been amazing in certain areas of the game, and the other areas that we really want to work on, he's clear on. He's just going to keep pushing towards building his best version of the game, and that's still to come. Ladies, please.
Robert, there's obviously been a bit of chit-chat about the side just struggling to get those wins against any of the top 8 sides. Do you think if you can nab the 2 against Manly on the weekend, that kind of gets put to bed a little bit, or does it just more give you guys confidence that you can beat those top 8 sides?
No, I think some teams that aren't in the top 8 are because we've beaten them as well. But the speculation's normal, but the belief in what we're capable of is there as well. And the speculation's okay, that's fine, but we know what kind of a team we are, and we'll get there. We'll get to that quality that we want, and all we can do is nail that tomorrow. That's the first step.
I know Gussie's got his big halftime match, but in context, do you lead into how big your battle this is? Like top 4 spot on the line, 6 weeks to go.
Yeah, you definitely take any challenge on, and that's the thing. Every week is a challenge, so you don't project to a couple of weeks down the track. We know that tomorrow night means a lot for multiple reasons. There's hurt there that we want to right, and we want to play how we want to play after last week, and we're heading out there to do that. Plus, there's the battle against a really good opposition, and also the table. So there's a few reasons for that, but the most important is belief in our side, how we want to play, and attacking that.
Why did last week hurt so much?
Because we lost. Zach, we lost. But it hurt, for multiple reasons. We just didn't perform to the level that we expect.
Joey Mardo a chance next week?
Yeah. He jumped in yesterday for a brief period of touch footy. It'd be nice to get him cleared next week.
What were you doing at 6:30 this morning? That's not a dodgy question, right?
I was watching the Union. It's at
Marky Mark.
Mark, yeah.
So what will you be doing on Saturday night at midnight?
Yeah, celebrating a win and watching the semi-final. No, it was great, wasn't it? I mean, their defensive performance this morning was outstanding. I sent Mark a text afterwards to say congratulations, and it was it was great to see such a full stadium. I think it was at Stade de France as well. So it was amazing to see our Olympic team, and the best result I think for the men's team. They're just next door, the guys. So it's really proud of them.